issues on which members have spoken, raising concerns, sometimes asking for greater information to be shared. However, of course, raising also issues which I'll try to address. I'm indeed grateful that members have taken great details from the budget and in the context of today's economy spoken about them. So this budget was presented, as I said during the presentation of the budget itself, was presented with the background that India was coming out of the pandemic and there was a path of recovery that we could distinctly observe, not just by us, but also by very many observers of the Indian economy post the pandemic. But of course, sooner we also had the Russia-Ukraine war, which commenced from 22 February. And there was, as a result, distinct inflationary pressures, particularly on the emerging markets, and it was globally felt. Also, the resurgence of COVID in China has also added a dimension which we couldn't have anticipated. So that led to the rise in international commodity prices. Also, the vagaries of weather, extreme weather conditions, also triggered off food inflation, not just in India, but in very many other countries. So, more than what the monsoon vagaries bring to India almost every year since recorded history, we had other external vagaries also affecting us, particularly in the food area. Several preemptive measures were taken up by the government, and also the monetary policy decisions by the RBI had led to a sequence of measures being taken. And therefore, by November, December of 2022, we were able to return to the realm of the tolerance band which the RBI defines. And therefore, the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, came down to the below 6% level and therefore was within the tolerance band. Despite all this, sir, the Indian economy is still the fastest growing major economy and shall continue to be so even in 23-24. So since the pandemic, when the economy dipped by -23, our efforts to recover the economy has been through the capex route, capital expenditure route from the government side. And this, because it has great multiplier effect, enables to have in situ jobs created where the projects of the public expenditure are being spent and the projects are being made to rise. So that immediately in situ creates a lot of jobs and therefore triggers better income and therefore triggers better consumption. This is a well-established route in terms of multiplier for capital expenditure, as different from the route which is asserted by economists when you give money in the hands of the people, where the multiplier is far lesser than a rupee spent, is far lesser than that rupee spent. The next very important line is also enhancing the productive capacities in the economy so that we can spur and sustain domestic demand. Third is also an approach which is comprehensive, looking at social security. I already explained the inflation management. So these four major routes and activities have actually kept the economy in a sustained growth path. So in a way, if I have to put in a few words what this budget of 2023-24 is, it actually, in a way, if I can say, astutely balances the requirement for India's development imperatives within the limits of fiscal prudence. So that is a very difficult balance. I'm sure most of us who are speaking on the Indian economy and the budget would observe that it is a very, very tight, measure. It's a very delicately balanced act, and that's what has been achieved in 2023-24 budget, without compromising on India's growth potential and sustaining the growth momentum. We also have made sure that fiscal prudence is maintained as per the glide path we had given 2 years ago. We were in a stretched fiscal situation, sir, post the pandemic. However, the growth in 23-24, the period for which this budget is presented here, will be with good policies such as the PM Gati Shakti, National Logistics Policy, and also the PLI scheme, and with cooperative federalism in mind, empowering states is of great concern for us. And as I go about speaking on specific points on which members of parliament have spoken, I'll also highlight what measures, even as of today, I have taken in order to maintain the state's fiscal health and also ensure that money is in their hands at the time when they need it. So from the budget itself, I wanted to place on record again through this response my reply. But even as I heard very many members speak about it, there was this repeated question about, are we giving enough for the states? Total resources are being transferred to states. I'd like to highlight and begin with that. Total resources being transferred to the states, that is the central share in taxes, releases under the centrally sponsored schemes, both put together under the BE 23-24, which is the proposed budget which is on the table of this House for consideration, is estimated at 17.98 lakh crores. This is higher by 1.55 lakh crores over the last year, which is the current running year as of March 31st, 2023. So this is higher by 1.55 lakh crores over RE of 22-23. I'm not even comparing it with the BE. Even over the RE, what we proposed in the current budget, which is under the consideration of the Parliament, is far higher. It is higher by 1.55 lakh crores and 2.9 lakh crores. And it is 2.91 lakh crore more than the actual of 21-22, the year before. The capital expenditure for 23-24 is at 10 lakh crore, which most members have heard me say, whereas in the year 19-20, this amount was only 3.39 lakh crores. And if I go to the last full budget presented during the UPA's 10 years, that is in 2013-14, it was only 2.91 lakh crores. 2.91 lakh crores in 13-14, the last of the UPA budgets. 2019-20 budget, which is the budget before the pandemic, it was 3.39 lakh crores. So the states will be the partners in this massive capital expenditure exercise. And in the budget of 23-24, that is the current budget, we have made an allocation of 1.3 lakh crores to the states as interest-free capital expenditure loan, which will run for 50 years. So 1.3 lakh crore is being given to states as 50-year loan without interest. So the state's interest has always been kept up and kept in our mind, and making sure that we are in time giving them what is their rightful amounts. Sir, whilst I go through the members and their points, I'm just broadly telling you the issues which this budget addresses and made specific allocations. Broadly, the headings are middle class, employment related, MSME related, agriculture related, rural population related, health related, and green growth related. So I will very quickly just give you the bullets under each of them so that all of us have a complete comprehensive picture on each of these headings. For middle class, sir, the new tax regime is very attractive. No tax for those with income less than 7 lakhs. Tax exemption limit will be 3 lakh under new regime against what was prevailing at 2.5 lakhs earlier. Standard deduction for salaried allowed in new regime as well. Will reduce tax liability. This proposal will reduce tax liability for majority of middle class taxpayers. New regime will be the standard or default. Taxpayers will have to opt for the old regime if she or he wants. Doubling of investment limit in small savings schemes from 15 to 30 lakh and increase in limit of monthly income scheme benefiting senior citizens and others through high interest rate with full safety will also benefit the middle class. And finally, for middle class, new small savings scheme for women and girls with attractive interest rate of 7.5% for a 2-year tenure. So here, I can't see member N.K. Premchandran, who asked for a clarification regarding the new income tax regime. He said, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quoting his exact words, but he said that under the old tax regime, a common man can save up to 4.5 lakh on his income from 9 lakhs. On his income of 9 lakhs, he can save up to 4.5 lakhs. However, he said in the new regime that won't help at all. In reality, sir, it is very difficult, actually, strictly speaking, for a common man who earns 9 lakhs to avail 4.5 lakhs in deduction. And after all, since he has to run the family as well as think of constantly of how best he can reduce the taxes. So when he's earning 9 lakh annually, 4.5 lakh in deduction itself will be quite a large and effort-ridden exercise. Enhanced rebate, whereas what we want to explain here, since the enhanced rebate in the new scheme is unconditional, it will greatly benefit income earners in the lower tax brackets as they have higher disposable income in their hands for meeting their essential expenditure. So I wanted to just assure member N.K. Premchandran that it's not always possible for a 9 lakh salaried person to have 4.5 lakh under exemption and then also be having enough money to spend for his family. So that was for middle class. So if I move for employment related information from this budget, sir. Increase in capital expenditure with large multiplier effect, and that's 10 lakh crores, and of which 1.30 will go to the states as well. Increased credit of 2 lakh crore at lower interest rate to MSMEs, who are the biggest job creators. Lab-grown diamonds have been given a fillip, which is a sunrise sector, and it has very high employment potential. Multidisciplinary courses for medical devices to create skilled manpower in futuristic medical technologies, manufacturing, and research. That's also aimed at greater employability for our people. Job opportunities through Make AI in India and Make AI Work for India in educational institutions is clearly giving that cutting-edge benefit for our students. Comprehensive tourism package for 50 destinations, creating direct and indirect jobs. PM Kaushal Vikas Yojana 4.0 to be launched covering new age courses like coding, AI, robotics, mechatronics, IoT, 3D printing, drones, and soft skills are all aimed at giving that lead advantage for those who come out of colleges with these skills, who can then be employable straight away. 30 Skill Indian International Centers. 30 Skill India International Centers will be established to train youth for international job opportunities, inclusive of any optional language which they would want. So this is about employment, particularly from this budget. For MSMEs, sir, Vivad Se Vishwas. Vivad Se Vishwas scheme for refunding forfeited amounts of bid performance security, which is given during COVID period in all government and PSU contracts with MSMEs. One point which I've missed out on employment is how in the government, in this year, every month, Prime Minister, also the ministers have all gone all over the country to give employment letters in government jobs. About 10 lakh jobs are being offered in the government, and that cannot be missed out. Sir, Vivad Se Vishwas scheme for MSMEs, and also to encourage timely payment, deduction of expenses for tax purposes allowed only when payment actually made to MSMEs will greatly benefit MSMEs, because most often large companies retain them and really take the offset benefits for it without really paying the MSMEs. We want to encourage the payment of MSMEs because they are the ones who generate a lot of local jobs. Revamped credit guarantee scheme for micro and small enterprises with additional credit of 2 lakh crores and reduction of interest rate by approximately 1%. And also, the presumptive taxation limit has been enhanced both for MSMEs and for professionals. Sir, I have 3 more of these main subjects, so that from this budget we'll be able to club it all together to see for that head as to what we have given. For agriculture, agricultural credit target has been enhanced to 20 lakh crores. India will be developed as a global hub for Shri Ann, that is the millets. Agricultural Accelerator Fund for agri startups. Major increase in storage facilities through cooperatives. Computerization of the PACs. Tax relief to cooperative sugar mills and PACs. That is more than about 9,000 crores, which is going for the benefit of the sugarcane farmers. Decentralized storage facilities through cooperatives to enable farmers to store their produce and sell it at the right time when they will get better prices. And also a new sub-scheme for fishermen, fish vendors under the PM Matsya Sampada Yojana. All this is definitely going to make India's agriculture far more robust. Rural population, sir, huge increase in the outlay for Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, 66% increase, and 79,000 crores are being given for PM Awas Yojana. Increase in the outlay for Jal Jeevan Mission from 60,000 crores to 70,000 crores. 15,000 crore mission for particularly vulnerable tribal groups. We talk about inclusion, but when we talk about what is being provided to the tribes, nobody wants to hear that, and they will still question.
Sir, I have a request. Today being the Friday, that the private member business, since this is financial business is going on, it may be kindly taken up on Monday.
सदन की सहमति है? माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी। Today.
So for health, the last two on which I want to elaborate, 157 new nursing colleges are being created. This also creates jobs both for domestic and international workers. Then sickle cell anemia elimination mission, which is very important for some tribal areas, and new program for research and innovation in pharmaceuticals are the highlights I would like to say for the health area. And finally, sir, the green growth, 35,000 crore towards capital investments in energy security, energy transition, which is being given to the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Energy storage projects are being taken up. Funds for scrapping polluting vehicles for both center and states are being given. Amrit Dharohar for conservation of wetlands are being taken up. Exemption of excise duty for blended compressed natural gas. Customs duty exemption for capital goods needed for lithium-ion cells for batteries in electrical vehicles, and green hydrogen mission. So in a gist, I tried capturing all those topics under which the budget had a lot of provisions here and there, but I've put it all together to summarize here, sir. Now I go to those 15 particular groups of issues on which honorable members have spoken. I'll group it all together on behalf of the members and try to address them. The fiscal glide path is the first issue, maintained at the cost of reduced food and fertilizer subsidy. That was a member's apprehension, which was put here, saying allocation for food and fertilizer subsidy has been drastically reduced. Was a, if I can call it as an allegation was levied. I want to say here, sir, leveled. 2015-16 till 2019-20, food subsidies have been in the range of 1 lakh crore to 1.12 lakh crores. I'm talking about 2015-16 to 2020. Whereas now in this budget for 23-24, the projection for food subsidy is 1.97 lakh crores. So it is far higher, in fact double than what was being given in 1920 or even earlier. The provision for food subsidy available in the budget of 23-24, sir, is adequate, we think, to cover all the anticipated expenditure for the PDS operations, and therefore that's not even less. The increase in food subsidy in the last 2 financial years is due to the PM Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana to 80 crore people. So the central government now, under the new PM Garib Kalyan Yojana, which has been introduced since December 2022, in the last 2 financial years, I've already said, in the December allocation of PM Garib Kalyan Yojana, which will continue to the Antyodaya and the priority households, the central government will bear all costs of the PDS operation with no cost to the beneficiary or even to the state government. The entire cost will be on the central government. So, there is just no reduction in the food subsidy, and therefore on that behalf to allege that I'm maintaining fiscal consolidation at the cost of reducing food subsidy is completely wrong. Sir?
देखो मैं आपको एक नहीं सुनो
पहले 5 ही तो मिलता था यार.
अरे सुनो Adhir Babu, you are a very senior member. Continuously disturbing, it is not to your stature, I am telling you. It is not fair on your part. अरे बैठिए यार ऐसे.
Sir, today Adhir ji is very conscious. Adhir ji is very conscious.
I have always my respect. I have a great respect.
Thank you. Surely, with that respect in place, even from my side, Adhir ji is very conscious. 5 kgs कम हो गया है. इनके NFSA 2013-14 में कितने राज्य में NFSA इंप्लीमेंट किया गया था? कोई 7 states only agreed to go along with them, and even in that it was only 5 kgs. Suddenly क्या, क्योंकि मोदी जी ने गरीब के लिए कोविड के समय +5 kg. अरे, I also have respect for you, आदिर जी. सुनिए ना, क्षमता रखना चाहिए सुनने में. NFSA 2013-14 sir, only 7 states took, and what did it give? It gave 5 kgs. गरीब के लिए, क्योंकि कोविड के समय किसी गरीब भूखे ना रहे, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी एडिशनल 5 kg दिया. वो एडिशनल 5 kg को अभी याद दिला रहे हैं. आप तो पहले से नहीं दिए. 5 kg बोले, 7 स्टेट्स में किए, बाकी देश भर में नहीं किए. आज आ गए इतना गरीब के लिए. क्या बात है जी. सर, another point was वो गरीब के लिए फूड को कटवा दिया, इसीलिए आपको फिस्कल कंसोलिडेशन हुआ. I proved it. No. Now I'll come to the fertilizer subsidy, sir. 2015-16 मैं उनके 13-14-12 में नहीं जा रही हूं अभी. 2015-16 to 2019-20 में fertilizer subsidy has been in the range of 65,000 crore to about 80,000 crore. Then in 22-23, that is this year, provision for fertilizer subsidy was about 1.05 lakh crores. In this budget, which is under consideration here in this parliament for 23-24, this has been raised to 2.25 lakh crores. Oh, sorry, 22-23 के लिए this साल has been raised to 2.25 lakh crores. Why was this raised for the current year so much? Because international prices went up. We had to import at a very high cost. On this, there is some data which I'd like to share with you, sir. Ek bori, which is 45 kgs, I think, of fertilizer, was somewhere in the range of 220 rupees. Whereas we had to import it somewhere in the range of 2,800. The very same 45 kg bori was 2,900 something. Approximately, the import cost had gone up. We imported it all at that cost, but did not put the burden on the farmer. किसान के ऊपर एक पैसा ज्यादा तब भी नहीं लिया, अभी भी नहीं लिया. ये टोटल केंद्र सरकार के ऊपर है. Okay? Sir, I was एक मिनट सर, क्योंकि हमारे वेरी एक्टिव मेंबर ऑनरेबल गोगाई इस विषय में उठे, मैं जो विषय बाद में बोलना चाहती थी मैं अभी ही बोल रही हूँ. एक्साइज ड्यूटी जब ज्यादा हुआ, फॉरेन प्राइस इंपोर्ट प्राइस जब ज्यादा हुआ, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी 2 बार एक्साइज ड्यूटी को कम करके जनता के ऊपर बोझ ना हो ऐसे स्टेप लिया. नवंबर में और जून में, नवंबर 21, जून 22 में. एक मिनट सर उस विषय में बोलना चाहती हूं. तब से लेकर आज तक हम तो जनता के ऊपर बर्डन कम हो इसीलिए एक्साइज ड्यूटी को कम कर रहे हैं. इसके उल्टा करने वाले स्टेट्स का नाम लेना चाहती हूं सर. सॉरी, मेरा हिंदी सही आ रही है कि नहीं? हम तो प्राइस कटवाने के लिए कोशिश करके नवंबर में 2021 और जून 22 में कटौती की. माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी बोले कि एक्साइज ड्यूटी को कम करो, किए, मगर तब से लेकर आज तक मैं नाम लेना चाह रही हूं. एक पहले किया होगा, आज दूसरे क्या कर रहे हैं, जो भी हो, उल्टा जनता के ऊपर बोझ पड़ना परवाह नहीं पड़ेगा, करने दो. ऐसे करने वाले लोग का नाम बोल रही सर एक्टिव हमारे, ठीक है जी, अधीर जी पूरे 2 दिन आप सबका सुना।
प्लीज 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 प्लीज
धैर्य पूर्वक सुनिए।
सर हमारे एक्टिव मेंबर गोगोई जी, वो उनके हिमाचल के सरकार से पूछना चाहिए, चुनाव जीतकर आने के तुरंत बाद वैट VAT वैल्यू एडेड टैक्स ऑन डीजल 3 रुपए ज्यादा किया, ये उनका है, ठीक है सर। सर और वैट इंक्रीज करने वाले आप हो भाई, वैट इंक्रीज करने वाले आप हो, आप बिना सोचे समझे बात ना करो। आपने वैट इंक्रीज किया डीजल के ऊपर, वो भी सर, इसीलिए वो कभी भी कांग्रेस के कल्चर यही है, आरोप लगाएंगे मगर जवाब देंगे तो हम चिल्लाएंगे, वॉकआउट करेंगे, इधर नहीं रहेंगे, ये उनके तरीका, ये उनके तरीका। देख लीजिए जे अभी भी देख लीजिए, अभी भी देख लीजिए, सच्चाई सामने आने पर चिल्लाना। सर दूसरा एक और विषय, अरे करप्शन के ऊपर आप डेटॉल से मुंह साफ कर दो भैया, कांग्रेस वाले करप्शन के ऊपर आप बात कर रहे हो। सर पंजाब में सर
आपकी कोई आवाज नहीं जा रही, बंद कर दीजिए।
पंजाब में सर, पंजाब सर has increased VAT on petrol and diesel in February 2023, which will lead to an increase in the price by approximately 90 paise per लीटर। इंक्रीज हो रहा है भाई, कम नहीं हो रही है। पंजाब के कोई भी है तो सुनिए सर, केरला सर, हाँ कांग्रेस नहीं है, जरूर कांग्रेस नहीं है। Why? Because I'm telling you.
Because you are not mentioning the name of West Bengal.
Oh, sir.
प्लीज
सर ये क्या है सर?
प्लीज 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 माननीय सदस्य, प्लीज
सर
प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज
सर
पश्चिम बंगाल की पीड़ा व्यक्त कर रहे हैं।
सर Kerala announced in February 2023 a levy which is, I think, a social security cess, Kerala government, of 2 rupees per litre of petrol and diesel. On both. हाँ, अभी माननीय leader of the opposition, if I can call him that, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary ji said, सेस आप कलेक्ट कर रही हो। सेस का विवरण भी मैं देती हूँ, कितना कलेक्शन होती है, कितना स्टेट्स को जाता है, मैं बिल्कुल देती हूँ उसको। सर ये अगर ये सब है,
राजस्थान मैडम,
बाकी भी बोलती हूँ सर, स्टेट्स, हाँ राजस्थान नहीं, राजस्थान में गड़बड़ है भैया, पिछले साल के बजट इस साल पढ़ रहे हैं। सर
उनको तो ये भी पता नहीं है।
अम्मा सर, गॉड किसी को भी,
साल का बजट पढ़ रहे हैं, पिछले साल का बजट पढ़ रहे हैं। ये भी
सर मैं ये भी
बजट पढ़ रहे हैं, पिछले साल का है कि इस साल का है।
सर मैं ये भी कंसीड करने के लिए तैयार हूं, गलती हो सकता है किसी का भी, भगवान की कृपा रहे, कभी भी किसी का भी वो हालत होना नहीं चाहिए कि पिछले बजट इस साल पढ़ रहे हैं। आई प्रे टू गॉड, ऑनेस्टली गलती किसी का भी हो सकता है। आई प्रे टू गॉड nobody should be able to be in that position, but today it happened, so I have to mention it, so nothing wrong sir. Sir, six sir, I'm saying about 6 other states which marginally reduced or didn't reduce at all. But I'm reading all of them together. I don't want anybody to get up and say, no, but we reduced half a paisa, 1 paisa. No, I'm not. I'm saying some reduced something, some others didn't reduce as much as would have been deserving. Whatever marginally reduced, maybe, I don't know. But I'm including them because both the times we expect every state to reduce the burden on the common people. West Bengal did not. Tamil Nadu maybe marginally. Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Kerala and Jharkhand have not reduced the prices on petrol and diesel till date. As I said, some state probably reduced marginally. So I didn't want to come to this detail at this stage itself, but because there was the context, I had to come even earlier to talk about it. Sabhi BJP states ne come kiye. So, yeah. I'll come to that. I'll certainly come to that. Sir, so for fertilizer subsidy, we had made sure that the burden is not shifted on the farmers. Any increase in cost in imported price, the government, central government is bearing it all in full. And at this stage, in this budget, we have tried making a reasonable allocation. And always it's subject to, if there is more increase, we'll give that much more. But in this reasonable allocation of 1.75 lakh crores has been made in the budget which is before you, 2023-24. Even this is 1.75 lakh crores, sir. And we have earlier, when we didn't make a provision, we still somehow imported it at whatever cost, although we didn't make a provision. That should clearly put our intent before you, saying for farmers will never let down. Sir, Manrega, an issue on which a lot of members have spoken, saying, no, the allocation has come down. So that's not true at all. I want to explain how. I want to explain how. The current year BE allocation is 73,000 crore. It had been increased to 89,400 crores in the RE of this running year, 31st March tak. So from BE, even this year, we've shown an increase. It's a demand-driven program, and therefore, whenever there is an increase, we'll come up with the numbers. But this year, we want to also underline the fact that Manrega outlays factors in economic recovery and massive increase in the PMAY Awas Yojana, particularly the rural, where 34,487 crores have been allocated. Other than the allocation for Manrega itself, here similar beneficiaries, similar rural work gets 34,487. The same set of people will have to benefit from it. And the Jal Jeevan Mission gets 10,000 crores, which caters to the same catchment area and also the same beneficiaries. So there is actually no reduction.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.